afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Jeanette Weiner. I'm with Rowe-Thrush. Welcome to our 26th Rowe-Thrush live stream interview, where we'd like to provide you with information about our suppliers' products, solutions, and resources. Today, we will be interviewing Polartec Industries. But before we bring them on, I'd like to share with you who Rowe-Thrush is. Rowe-Thrush is a manufacturer rep agency who specializes in Grainger. We support over 60 plus suppliers. We also provide resource tools for Grainger sellers, such as segmented line cards, a Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site. This SharePoint site is full of Graingerized literature, plus Rowe-Thrush videos and more. We also participate in Grainger district team calls. And there's one thing I could ask of our real-time viewers is if you could share in the comments section where you're from, what vertical segments you support, and if you have sold any Polartec products before. So with all that said, let's get started and bring on Laura and Samantha with Polartec. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
And how are you today?
Doing well.
Feeling excellent.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you ladies would give us a little bit about yourselves before you joined Polartec and your current role with Polartec. Laura, would you like to go first?
Of course. My name is Laura Szymanski. I have been with Polartec since mid-2017, so about 5 years now. I was in the receptionist role for much of that time, but I took on all of the design projects that I could, and now my role is in sales, design, and marketing as of 2022.
Fantastic.
And before I worked here, I was at an advertising agency as a creative coordinator. I've also done custom art framing, like at Michael's and things like that.
Great. And Samantha, how about you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Samantha Santler. Thank you guys for taking the time to join us today. Before Polartec, I was a stay-at-home mom. When my daughter was a little older, I transitioned into retail sales before Polartec. I have been with Polartec for 6 years. I became the Grainger sales representative at the start of 2020. Please use me as your resource for cold chain packaging here at Polartec. I've helped many Grainger sales reps find solutions for their customers throughout the last 2 years. Navigating cold chain packaging can be tricky, but I'm here to help.
That's very good. Thank you, ladies, for sharing that with us. And for our audience to get to know you a little bit more on a personal level, I'd like to ask you, what is your favorite movie and why? And Laura, how about you?
I love the movie Amélie. It's a French film from 2001. I just love how quirky the protagonist is and how she has a sense of justice and spreading kindness to people. It just inspires me, and I love the score.
So, Laura, I have to ask, have you been to Paris and do you speak French?
No, I wish I could. I saw the subtitles, though. I could read those pretty good.
You're right along with everybody else. How about you, Samantha? What's your favorite movie and why?
I would have to say my favorite movie is Megamind. It is a funny movie. It has a lot of great one-liners. I like to incorporate movie quotes in my everyday conversations. Megamind has a lot of great ones that I use, and sometimes people get it, sometimes they don't. But either way, I think it makes me laugh.
You gotta keep it light, right? Especially in the environment. I was going to ask you, do a lot of your people at work pick up on your references, or is it just kind of like a little snicker in the back?
It really depends on the time, the person, and the movie. But yes, in the back. Yeah.
Oh, and if we can go to the next slide, how about if we can discuss Polartec's history?
Yes. Polartec is a foam and refrigerant manufacturer. We're based outside Chicago and in central Pennsylvania. We have specialized in perishable packaging since 1984, so we've been in business for 38 years. We offer hundreds of items to protect your temperature-sensitive products during shipping, including foam insulated containers, refrigerants, corrugated boxes, dry ice makers, and other packaging extras to make your customers' life easier.
Perfect. And I have to ask this. What was your first operating facility? Was it in the Illinois state or was it in Pennsylvania?
In the state of Illinois.
Perfect. Okay, great. Now, if we move on to the next slide, we'd like to discuss what are some customer segments that Polartec supports for the Grainger sellers. Can you give us some more detail on that?
Yeah, I would say mainly food, beverage, and pharmaceutical manufacturing, healthcare, government, and hospitality. However, our customers have a wide array of uses for our products. We see our products used with live animals, biohazardous materials, meal delivery kits, pharmaceuticals, cat shelters, plant protection, and on movie sets. We enjoy seeing the creative uses of our products. Recently, a university shared that they use our containers during research cruises in Antarctica to protect their electronics from subarctic temperatures. It's pretty cool.
That is a really good bit of information. I like the fact that you can reuse these products and help the environment as well. That's a great outfit. So if we can move on to the next one, our next slide refers to the types of customer business issues. So when a Grainger seller is out there speaking with their customers, what customer business issues can PolarTech help them with?
The first one I'd like to touch on is cost savings. Grainger has competitive pricing with PolarTech. We manufacture our products in the US, like I mentioned, and we pass on those savings to Grainger's customers.
For productivity, PolarTech's foam shippers come pre-assembled and ready to use on the customer's assembly line. PolarTech products are the highest quality, meaning you can trust the application the first time and every time. Cold chain packaging from other vendors are made from mediocre materials which fail to perform. This requires expensive replacements, causes bothersome lead times, and end user disappointment. Quality packaging is the only kind that ensures quality results.
Another Grainger CBI is emergency preparedness. Our foam shippers are used for vaccines, vaccine reagents, and other medical purposes. And in the event of emergencies, our cold packs and containers can keep food from spoiling when the power goes out.
PolarTech does offer sustainability in the form of biodegradable packaging solutions, such as our bioliners and biodegradable cold packs. It is important to note that EPS foam gets a bad rap, yet it has the best performance. It takes less energy consumption to manufacture. It is made up of 98% air, and it is 100% recyclable. It is the third largest commodity being recycled in the US. The simple fact that EPS foam containers work most efficiently means perishables are being delivered and not wasted, which has a huge impact on the environment. The energy used to manufacture food, beverages, and vaccines is not wasted. We produce quality products, allowing for your customers to have successful shipments on the first try and avoiding the costly carbon footprint of sending replacements for failed shipments.
The next point is regarding safety. Our cold packs are non-toxic. They're made from food thickeners and water, and all the products that we manufacture are FDA GRA.
As for Grainger's KeepStock program, all of our products are consumables and would work well as KeepStock. I would say our edge protectors, such as Grainger SKU 12, F324, or Ice Packs Grainger SKUs 12, F375, 12, F378, or 4Y RK2 will be the best option for the program.
You mentioned that the product and the materials used are always getting a bad rap. I don't understand if they can provide so many great uses and they're doing such a great job protecting things. How can it get such a bad rep all the time?
A lot of people think that because the EPS foam is not always curbside recyclable, they don't want to use it, but they would prefer to go with like corn starch options, which they don't have as much protective power as the EPS foam coolers. It's
Okay.
just something that we're trying to change to let people know the real options, that the EPS foam is recyclable. You might need to look into a little bit more, find out what your local guidelines are, but it is recyclable. It's the third largest commodity, and it actually works. It's true. It kind of frustrates me when people say that. I'm like, it's not true.
We just got to work on changing that perception, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
And then you also mentioned that your products are FDA GRAS. Can you explain for us normal people, what does the FDA GRAS mean?
It stands for generally recognized as safe. We have SDS available for people who are interested in finding out more information about our cold packs and our shippers for that matter. Samantha, do you have any additional information?
Yeah, so the reason they're not FDA fully compliant is just because they're not manufactured in clean rooms. They're just manufactured in a normal facility, but they're GRAS because all of the components used to make them are considered non-toxic by the FDA.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. That helps. It makes it a little bit clearer.
Yep.
Okay, so moving on to our next slide. What should an account manager look for when they're visiting their customers? What should stick out to them as they're walking through the facility, and how can they incorporate that with possibly a Polartec product?
They should look for items needing to maintain a certain temperature, whether hot, cold, frozen, or cool, for example. Look out for items that need to be protected as well, like glass, furniture, vials, and electronics. Ask them to investigate their current shipping practices. Even if they think that their products are working well, there is always room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
The telltale sign would be to ask about customer complaints or returns.
That's a good point. Okay, if we can go to the next slide. Our next slide asks, who should an account manager talk to?
As you can see from the large list on the slide, there are a lot of decision makers who we see purchase from us on any given day. Operations manager, quality control, purchasing, to name a few. They should ask about their products, their shipping goals, how they store their products on site. Are there any temperatures they need to maintain? If there are any issues with product quality over transit, find out what they're currently using and ask if they have any customer complaints or concern. Ask if their volume increased. We often see customers already have a system that worked for years for smaller volumes, such as panel kits that take costly time and personnel to assemble, or the customer is reusing old shipping materials that they happen to receive samples in, which is normally inconsistent to their needs. This might have worked when they were shipping smaller quantities, but with the increased volume, it is no longer feasible, and they will be looking to purchase their own cold chain shipping supplies.
Okay. And I see a question popped up. It's, if someone is shipping cold products, do they have to use ice packs for shipments?
Yes, they will need to use ice packs for their shipments. The reason for this is you will always need some sort of refrigerant to protect your product. We recommend a 2-to-1 ratio of ice packs as a baseline starting point. We hear of a lot of carriers leaving whole pallets of frozen or refrigerated items next to airplanes or heaters in the winter. All the buildings will have heaters on, and if you don't have that correct amount of refrigerant, your packaging is going to fail.
For sure. And we've seen that now. That's an uptick with COVID-19, with people doing a lot of shopping at home or ordering in. I've also been through that personally. I know as adults, it's hard to do Christmas shopping for family.
Yeah.
So we kind of buy each other lobster grams. And our winters here in the Midwest are a little bit different than the ones in southern Missouri or Southwest California.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just because it's minus 11 here doesn't mean it's going to be cool enough for that package of expensive lobster tails to sit on somebody's porch.
That's why it's very important.
Yeah, you could get sick. I mean, if you don't take the proper precautions, it could be costly in more ways than one.
Exactly.
Okay, so going on to our next slide. Can you touch on some of the key features and benefits of Polartec products that would be beneficial for Grainger sellers or your customers to know?
Quality, quality, quality.
Good point.
For example, the density of our foam shippers surpasses our competitors by 20%. So that means superior insulation as well as physical protection from the hazards of shipping.
Okay.
And something else that Polartec offers, competitive lead times. While our competitors have lead times of 6 to 8+ weeks, our lead times are half of that, the lowest in the industry. In fact, when product is available, it will ship within 4 business days. And so Polartec has stayed ahead of the industry delays that have impacted all of us during the challenges with COVID-19 and the aftermath.
Definitely. Without giving away trade secrets, are you guys making your own styrofoam?
Yeah, we are.
Great. Okay, if we can go to the next slide. For documented value, I know this is a big key phrase with a lot of Grainger sellers, and not only Grainger sellers, but the customers want to hear it too. How do you save me money by buying your product? Can we touch on that with you?
Yes, so we do have documented value. in the form of testing. We have testing documents that show the effectiveness of our products. Stock testing data might not be completely specific to your customer's application, but it does provide a good baseline knowledge. The testing data is pretty extensive. You will see listed all the products used, temperatures and dates monitored, and then summarized with several graphs like the one pictured in the slide. Please reach out if your customer needs something like this, and I will provide what we have.
So Samantha, just to ask another question,
Yeah.
do both of your facilities in Illinois and Pennsylvania have a testing area for these?
Our Illinois facility actually has a brand new lab, and it's ready. We're just waiting for your guys' orders to test it. But our Pennsylvania does not yet.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go to the next slide. Our customers, and I'm sure the Grainger sellers, are very curious as to find out how to dispose of the Polartec products that you offer. I know that could probably be a really sticky topic, so let's get into that.
Actually, as the receptionist, I fielded a lot of these questions. First, I will start off with our foam shippers. Reusing them is our favorite option. So you could use them to transport groceries or reuse them as planters. And if you choose to donate them, then schools, churches, food pantries, animal shelters would benefit from that.
Great.
And to find a foam recycling center near you, as we said, not every center accepts it. So you would need to call your local waste management center to find out and see if they accept number 6 plastic. And then as for our cold packs, you could reuse them as long as they're not leaking. They are non-toxic. If an end user does have an abundance of them, have them check if their local food pantry or school district could use them. Even the inside of our refreezer bricks can be reused. So please refer to our website for recycling instructions. Generally, our customers separate the materials and either recycle or throw away the packaging depending on their local and state guidelines.
Yes, I can speak of the styrofoam containers. They do float, except you will lose a lid. We've had them in our kayaks before, so they fit perfectly depending on what size you use. And I know those ice bricks are so good to have around. I mean, we often trade them between family and friends when we're going on vacations or we meet up at the cabin. So they're good to have, and they do last a long time.
Yeah.
I have another question that came in, and they would like to know, do you have styrofoam inserts in different thicknesses, and what are their applications if so?
Yes, we have several different thicknesses. They range anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to up to 3 inches. The 3/4 of an inch coolers containers are usually used for overnight shipments or shipments that aren't going too far, or if you're shipping to your surrounding states. Then we also have 1 1/4 to 1 1/2. Those are used for 2 to 3 day shipping, depending on how much refrigerant you're using.
Okay.
And then the thicker coolers, the 3 days, a lot of times we see that those are used for international shipments or like 5 to 6 business days shipping, as long as you're using enough refrigerant.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, new products. Does Polartec have any new products that are coming soon?
Yes, we have a bulk line that we are delighted to announce. We are working through finalizing SKUs, so it's not offered through Grainger yet. We do plan on working with Grainger and Rowe-Thrush to add these items to Grainger's product offerings. This line is very exciting. The Icebox is a pallet-sized modular container. They are great if your customer is shipping large, pallet-sized quantities, full skids of meat, cheeses, raw materials to the manufacturer or processing facilities. This line will keep the entire pallet temperature controlled, and there are options for shipping frozen, refrigerated, and ambient items all in the same pallet container by reusing and maximizing temperature energy. So far, with the testing, we are seeing that the Icebox can maintain temperatures for 6 to 10 days with the correct refrigerant ratio. So far, current market options have bare minimum requirements. Our owner carefully planned out the Icebox to make it modular, fit your needs, and maintain the highest standard of temperature control. Again, this line is new and it has not been added to the Grainger catalog yet. If you are in need of this system or want more information, please reach out and I'll help you order it through Grainger sourcing.
Okay. Samantha, we have a question that came through. And in your experience, what is the best cold pack to use?
There are several that are the best to use in different applications. The best one I would say would be our refreezer bricks. Those are the foam refrigerant. They always keep their nice solid square shape, so they tend to hold their temperature 10% longer. Those that you're holding, that's our ice bricks line. Those are also very popular. They are made with a viscous gel, so if they were punctured, the gel's not going to leak out. We also use some of the thickest poly in the industry, so the poly is thick and durable, so even if there was a puncture, they're not going to leak out. We also have a moisture safe line, which they're great if you're shipping nice, beautiful boxes that cost a lot of money, that you don't want a lot of condensation on. And we also have our grab and go ice packs, which are our economy pack. So they all have great uses for different applications.
Good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if we can go to the next slide. So, does Polartec have any online training webinars that are available to our viewers?
Well, I'm glad you asked because Polartec just started this program. We are hosting how-to webinars, and we're very excited about it. Samantha and I actually just finished up a how to ship your cakes and pies webinar on Wednesday. And it went very well. I'm tremendously excited about it. We plan to have these monthly. So future topics include cold pack selection and placement and how to sell packaging. So please reach out to myself or Samantha to sign up to be included on a list for future webinars.
I was going to ask you, ladies, if you actually sent samples of your shipping cakes and pies to your sample test group.
Oh, we kept our samples.
Okay.
So we packed them out as if they were going to be gone for 3 to 5 days, and we still have the samples.
That's awesome. We have a few more questions that have come in. What is the most unique application use that you have heard of for Polartec products?
There are a lot of unique application uses that we have seen.
Actually,
just the one shipping container that was sent to Antarctica to keep the electronics from freezing. That was pretty cool that we saw. I've helped a lot of customers order our packaging for movie sets. I thought that was pretty exciting. One was on Bird Box, and so that was my claim to fame. I always said I met Sandra Bullock, which is not true. But there's a lot of things that make the office laugh. Just different types of meats that our customers sell, or beverages, unique names that our customers have for their companies. There's a lot of unique things.
I'm surprised by the amount of cat shelters that are made out of our larger styrofoam containers. Feral cat colonies. People who want to take care of their cats in the winter will ask for shippers from us to keep their cats protected.
I can see why. Some of these are large.
We have some that's 4 times that. And then the new ice box is pallet size, huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're very large.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see if we have any more questions. Does Polartec offer a how-to or a guideline document for the best way to package and ship different types of products?
Laura, do you want to take that one?
Actually, there's a graphic behind me that illustrates guidelines on packaging perishable products using dry ice, refrigerant packs, or even warmed refrigerants.
Okay.
We have resources available both on our website, and if you email Samantha or me, we could pair you up with the documents that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what if you don't carry the size cooler that a customer needs?
So Grainger sells all of our most popular sizes. Usually it comes down to a reconfiguration issue. A lot of times customers will put all of their products and try to fit all of them in one container. Whereas if they just take them individually, they can stack some on its side, on the bottom, in different ways to configure it. If Grainger does not carry any of the sizes that will work for you, Polartec does have over 200 sizes of containers. Just reach out to me and I can help you find something that we can order through Grainger sourcing.
Okay. One more question. Is there a specific time of year to use cold chain packaging?
Yes, it would be year-round. Cold
Good
chain packaging is very important in the winter. We often hear of shipments without the correct cold chain systems failing to perform in the winter due to the product being left on a hot tarmac, in a building, warehouse, airport. All of these places will have heaters on. Once your product finally delivers, the product will be sitting on the hot porch in the sun all day. It is important to protect your product from these common instances with the correct insulated shippers and the right amount of refrigerant.
It's a good point, because I never thought of actually using the inside of like maybe an ice brick
Yeah.
or a cooler pack within the box. I thought if it's an insulated box, it's protected.
Yeah, and that's a common misconception. A lot of times, Grainger reps, it might be helpful to see if your customer only orders the foam coolers, because they might not know they need the refrigerant. And so it's a really easy upsell to get them to buy the refrigerant if they're already using the containers.
Good point.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to open up this part of the live stream for some more questions from our live audience. Keep that going if there's any more. We'll give it a few minutes to see if they trickle in.
Mm-hmm.
Going once, twice. I think we've hit the max of our questions because it seems pretty quiet out there. You ladies did a great job with answering our questions and providing our Grainger sellers and our other audience with the information that they need to keep Polartec in mind for their refrigerating packaging needs. And I appreciate the time that you've taken for us.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate Rowe-Thrush.
Well, it's a partnership, and we like our relationships, and we like to work on it. So it's good to hear that we've got a good relationship going.
Mm-hmm.
That much, I think it wraps this up for this afternoon. I'd like to remind our audience that both a video and an auto recording will be available on our Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site. Our next live stream interview is going to be on April 1st, 2022. And you'll see it on the screen. And with that, I would like to thank you all for watching and participating. And a big thank you to Samantha and Laura for joining us today. And we hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
It was fun. Thanks, ladies.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.